Now let us know how to edit a resume. Once you have designed your resume, you will then have to put your resume through a process of editing. Whenever you are editing a resume, you need to always remember these points. Consider the big picture. Scrutinize the bullets and details. Fact check. Proofread and make sure it looks appealing.
When you go through your resume for the very first time, try to focus on the overall message you are sending rather than focusing on typos. During the initial read, ensure that the message in your resume answers certain questions such as: does this sell you as a perfect candidate for the types of roles you are seeking? Are there any gaps between the experience on the page and the experience required for the job? What makes your experience stand out among other similar candidates? Does the top third of your resume serve as a hook to get the hiring manager to read more? Is there anything on your resume that doesn't need to be there? For inspiration, you can look at LinkedIn profiles of people at your level and see how they tell their stories, and you can apply the same to your resume.
In the second read of your resume, pay attention to every sentence to determine if there's a better way to get your point across. For each bullet point, ask yourself such questions. Is this the strongest possible language you can use? Can anything be said more clearly or in fewer words? Is there any language that someone outside of your company or industry would not understand? Can anything benefit from examples? And at last, are there any repeated words, and can they be replaced with more creative language?
Ensure that you ask a friend who isn't in your industry to go through your resume and tell you what they think of your strongest achievements. Once they do that, ask yourself if you agree. If not, adjust it so that the most important ones really stand out.
In the third read of your resume, pay close attention to the facts which you have mentioned. As you are checking your facts, ask yourself these questions. Are the companies you worked for still operating under the same name? Are they still located in the same city? Are your position titles accurate? Are your employment dates correct? Are all of the numbers and percentages you use to describe increments, quotas, budgets, savings and achievements reasonably accurate?
Ensure that you're reasonably sure of the work done in your previous organizations when you're mentioning acts in your resume. You don't need to add in official numbers to prove it.
It is usually recommended that someone else looks over your resume. But before you proofread, check for any typos and proper punctuations.
Whenever you proofread your resume, it is helpful to temporarily change the font or to read your resume from the bottom up, as your eyes get used to reading a page in one way and can often catch new errors when you mix up the format.